Mheshimiwa Speaker has made quite a few allegations, and I'm going to answer them one by one. And it's unfortunate that most of them are basic propaganda, but I'm going to prove so. Number one, the Oscar Foundation issue that happened was quite unfortunate. Yes, Mr. Speaker.
But it doesn't come at the end. As a Kenyan who has sent a message that you took the former president of Machakos to launch a modern Dubai-like city. He's asking me to ask you, where is it?
Thank you. The Oscar Foundation issue, we had a security meeting in the morning, and I want this to go on record, and led by the head of public service then, police commissioner and others, as the government spokesperson, and we agreed that this was a statement that was going to be issued. The president was briefed. I issued the statement because the legal practitioner and I think the DPP was preparing documents to be able to arrest and take them to court. Later on, after that statement, we heard about the murder or the shooting right outside Parliament of the people that we had also mentioned. So it was pretty unfortunate, and I had nothing to do with it. I was doing my job as agreed in a proper government system. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, you have traveled to the US, and like all houses of Parliament and Senate, when you go in as a freshman, and then you are a sophomore, and then you're a junior, and then you're a senior. So you start in the US system as a sophomore, you start at the bottom, and you work your way up, so you become now a senior senator, a senior document. So when we got the letter from the American Embassy about former President Obama coming to Kenya, the title was the Junior Senator of Illinois, which in the US is actually a positive. It means you're not a freshman, you're not a sophomore, and that you're nearly a senior, that you have graduated, you're actually high in rank. You're not a system even when you enter university. You're a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. And so when we issued a statement referring to the letter of the Americans talking about the junior senator of Illinois who visited, you look at my statement, that is how we were mentioning his title. And that is the title he had. It was nothing to do with demeaning Obama, who we believed in. It had nothing to do with the comments. It said it was basically his title. You are a majority leader, you're a speaker, you're a minority leader. That's how it's a title that he had at that particular time. Number three, you asked about Cobra Squad. Cobra Squad was a personal initiative, very successful. I want to say that I bought my house in Nairobi with proceeds from Cobra Squad, and went on to produce many other shows like Beba Beba, which I think you've seen it, and many other shows that my company still produce and do other things. And Cobra Squad was very successful, even across Africa. Even today, I still get royalties from it being shown in Zambia, Tanzania, and many other countries. During our second season, after the end of our second season, one of our main actors unfortunately died in the fire that engulfed the former Nakumat that was at Moi Avenue. And it was felt that we could not continue with the third season after that tragedy. And that is how we stopped Cobra Squad, out of respect for the death of one of our workers. So, Mheshimiwa Caleb, it was not a failure, it was a success, big success. But also we are people with a heart. About Kazi kwa Vijana and the tree planting and the organization, I took the former town clerk, Gakuo, together with some colleagues to Dubai to look at how to beautify our country and the national parks. And I remember spending so much time planting trees in the streets of Nairobi. I even count some of the trees I personally planted right here on Harambee Avenue and over here. And we started an initiative to plant trees and beautify. Now, a decision was made that there will be an expressway, the existing expressway that is there, and that the trees on Uhuru Highway, because the expressway was going to pass on top, had to be removed to allow for the expressway, and so that we have short bushes and brushes. And that was what was going on. It had nothing to do with cutting down the environment. We are planting many more trees and reorganizing many other things. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to go on record.
Something. Just a small point of order. You said you went to Dubai to see how to beautify a city. Dubai doesn't have any trees. It's a concrete jungle. So how did you learn that from Dubai?
We found that in Dubai, they have one of the best parks in the world with very big trees and amazing flowers and beauty that you can't believe it grows in a desert. And the challenge was, if it can grow in a desert, if this can grow in a desert, if you've been to Dubai, you've seen, you know, what they're able to do with the trees on the sideline, the palm trees and the forest, then you understand if you can do it in a desert, what about in a place where it rains more than the desert? And that was the lesson that was learned. Now, when it comes to my success in Machakos, I bought ambulances in Machakos that cut down the time it took from a person from being taken to hospital from the half an hour to 2 hours on a border to 1 to 2 to 3 minutes. When you call an ambulance in Machakos during my tenure, it took 3 to 5 minutes. We had one of the fastest, if not the fastest, response rate in the continent of Africa. Very successful. And it was so successful that I was even given an award in Africa as the best governor in the continent of Africa. And the ambulances are still there in Machakos. And they are extremely successful. And the health system that I set up in Machakos, including building the first cancer ward, the cancer center, which treated people free of charge when you have cancer, to show that you don't have to have money to continue, has been quite successful. My track record in Machakos is known all over this country. And all you need to do is just visit Machakos when I was governor. And you could see the things that we did, the roads that we built, the markets that we established, the stadiums that we put together, and you'll be able to see the track record. There are naysayers, people in the opposite.
Yes, Nelson.
I don't know what's happening with Honorable Mbui and Honorable Mule. Is it something they know? Because they are laughing sheepishly.
Why are you giggling?
Or politics of Ukabani.
Mr. Speaker, I didn't want to make any comment, but I was member of Parliament of Kadhiani, which is in Machakos, when the Honorable Mutua was governor. And I mean, this is sounding like a movie.
Mr. Speaker, you know,
Go on.
When I worked
from where you left.
Yes, when I worked in Machakos, I did amazing things like build the People's Park, the ambulances, and there was a big opposition. And because I was talking and doing things that they only see in movies, they even started calling me Mutua Cinema because they only see it in movies. And the people of Machakos were so happy, regardless of their campaigning against me, that they re-elected me for a second term. Very, very successful. And I beat them hands down, actually. And so I would challenge, Mr. Speaker, the people of Machakos who benefited. In actual fact, Mr. Speaker, there's a small problem happening in Machakos right now. And that is that I was approached by the officer in charge of registration when I was completing my term and said that there's going to be a problem because a lot of children being born in Machakos are now called Alfred Mutua. But I said they are not mine. And they said it's because most of them now are born in ambulances that you put into place. Because before, in Machakos now you don't find children called Nzilani because they're born by the side of the road, you know, or others, because now people have that dignity. Moving on to the question of the squeezing of my hand, Mheshimiwa Ruto later introduced me to Mheshimiwa Nyonyi from Wanyama, who I felt his grip of the hand, and I realized it was not actually squeezing of there's a person who can really squeeze the blood out of your hands. And it was put during the political times. It was a political move at the time. Now about Turkey, I'm surprised by the comments made by...
It is not called Turkey, it's Turkey. It's only written Turkey, but it's pronounced Turkey.
Thank you.
That is the name of the country.
Thank you.
I believe you meant the country of Istanbul and Ankara.
Yes.
It's called Turkey in English, Turkey in Arabic.
Yeah, that's the country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand guided.
Yeah.
It is only that lately they have been
And
trying
if you
to
want
push for
Kiswahili,
that.
it's called Uturuki.
Uturuki.
Yes.
So Turkey, Uturuki, Turkey, depending on who is mentioning it from their end. I met and the ambassador who came, and we galvanized support for Turkey. And even we involved different government agencies for Turkey. Sorry, we've been calling it Turkey, for Turkey. So I'm surprised saying that our officers are embarrassed, yet we were able to work with them. Even our president issued his condolences and talked of the support that we are working. And we've been worked very well with the ambassador from Turkey. I'll be surprised, even the ambassador will be surprised to hear of such. When I talked about all tourists planting trees, we said tourists will be given an opportunity and to urge the hotels
Point of
that
order,
when
because it is a matter that was in public domain and it came directly from the minister's handle, you could maybe explain how you delivered the goods, because according to them, nothing came. They are embarrassed to see the king. There is always everybody who promised delivered except Kenya. And it has put our nation at a very embarrassing position because of your comment.
Mean the food to Turkey?
Mr. Speaker, if I remember right, we even were able to galvanize blankets and rice and other items that were sent. So I'll look into it to find out where Honorable Caleb is receiving that information from. It's a surprise to me. I'm hearing it for the first time from him, because I've not heard of any complaints, and we worked very well as a government to help our brothers and sisters who have also always stood with us. And H is that tourists to plant trees. We issued and we say that we are going to encourage tourists coming to our country and hotels. And I had a meeting with the stakeholders to be given an opportunity to plant trees, and even came up with a formula which they have actually been using, where you are asked when you come in, do you want to add 20 shillings to your bill, so that that 20 or 50 shillings is for a tree where you can...
It was fundraising for tree planting.
Fundraising for tree planting, and for the ones who want to plant trees, we had even designated an area at Nairobi National Park where people could go and plant trees, because some of them are so keen on the environment to go and plant. And the idea was to showcase where Kenya is in terms of environmental protection. It's an opportunity for people, and many people are very happy to be given that opportunity. And I know, honorable members, you've gone to places where after you make a payment, they ask you, do you want to add 50 shillings for this? Do you want to add 70 shillings for this? So it was that opportunity to be able to serve.
Point of order.
And lastly...
Was that money accounted for?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask, Speaker. When you said fundraise, was it an approved cabinet decision? And if it was, how much has been raised up to now?
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, not fundraise, but be able to give people an opportunity. For example, if you come to a hotel and the hotel tells you, we have seedlings for you to be able to plant a tree. The seedling costs 50 shillings. Whether you can plant a tree or somebody plants a tree, do you want to contribute to it? You say no, that's it. You say yes, then you ask, do you want to be able to go out and plant the tree, or do you want the hotel to plant the tree? So it's all about, and the government has been collecting numbers. It will be continue collecting numbers from all stakeholders who have engaged in tree planting.
It's like the little change you throw in a basket in a supermarket? Something like that?
So, yeah, but you're given an opportunity to say, yes, I want to be able to plant a tree myself. Mm-hmm. And many people opt to say, well, I don't have time to plant the trees, but can somebody else from the hotel plant the trees? And the hotels will be able to galvanize and say, as a hotel industry, we have planted these trees. And this is something we had agreed with the industry. So it was not just me speaking. It was about an agreement with the industry. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, and let it go on record here, because many dreams of our Kenyans are destroyed by selfishness of leaders. And forgive me for saying this. When we came up with a program of Machakos New City, we brought investors who signed MOUs worth 2.1 trillion shillings to bring investment, not just in Machakos, but across the country, using Machakos land that was available and other systems. And we started the process. Mheshimiwa Johnston Muthama and the Wiper Party went to court and got an injunction against us.
Point of order, Chairman. Point of order, Chairman. Because he's just named my party.
Let him finish.
He just mentioned my party.
I'll give you an opportunity.
Oh.
Let him finish what... and I want... go on, nominee.
They went to court and put an injunction, and an injunction was issued by court that we cannot proceed with that program until the court rules otherwise. The court took 5 years. Justice delayed is justice denied. Despite that, we were able to continue. And when the court ruled, and remember it was Justice Odunga, because I have the court case, when he threw out that suit and said actually it had rendered the people of Machakos poorer over time because all those investments were lost. They went to Rwanda, they went to Ghana, they went to South Africa. Today, as we sit here, some of the problems we are facing with Gen Zs is because we've not been able to grow opportunities for them to work. That was a valid dream that was stopped by leaders who are more concerned about political clout of one another rather than taking care of the people of this country. We have to be able to be selfless to know that some programs you may not support them, but they are good for the country. And you support them because they provide employment and opportunities for others. We lost, the person who has built Dubai Mall, he came and he committed $400 million.
That is the one that had a component of Formula One?
Yes. The same component. He had committed to put a sports city and hotel system and everything, and even connect the highway from Machakos all the way. He came, he met the president, he met us. I went to Dubai, we signed an MOU, and the MOU is still there with him. But when it went to court, he took his money to Rwanda, and the rest of the money he took to Angola. Who lost? The Kenyan poor. The Gen Zs who are demonstrating because of that.
What is your point of order?
My point of order, Chair, and I want Kenyans to listen keenly to this. Yes. Mr. Speaker, the nominee has accused the Wiper Party of taking him to court. Now, at the point when he came up with this proposal, he had just been elected as Governor Machakos County on a Wiper ticket. I was also elected as a member of parliament on the same party ticket. I was not involved in any issue to do with with a court case. Neither was the party, because the party decision would have been taken at the national election, the NEC Executive Council. So when he says that the Wiper Party took him to court, he's being economical with the truth. I do agree that the senator of Machakos, who was also a Wiper member, may have been involved, but not the party. I would like to see some evidence that puts the party in court against him.
Let's settle that the senator who went to court belonged to Wiper Party, but it may not have been the Wiper Party that took him to court, so that we make progress. Who are the parties to the case? You say you have the case?
Yes, it was...
who was the plaintiff?
It was Senator Muthama.
Yes.
And to Senator Muthama, and when he went to court, he said he represented the views of his party and the party machinery. So I withdraw, and so we leave it as Senator Muthama. And but you see, Mr. Speaker, sir,
yes.
This was done because, from my perspective, I may be wrong. It was felt that if Mutua is able to achieve this greatness, then it will deny others clout. And I'm saying I may be wrong. I'm just saying that I felt that the reason that was stopped is because it was felt that I needed to be put in my place so that I do not overtake other leaders in terms of supremacy. So I just feel that it shouldn't have come to that.
Point of order.
Yes, Deputy Speaker.
I hope that the nominee knows that you're actually under oath, so you risk perjuring yourself. You do realize that. Free legal advice.
Can the nominee confirm he was chosen on which party in 2013? Was it Wiper or any other party?
He already said he was elected on Wiper.
Okay, let's make progress. Let's make
Order, Shuria.
I think, Chairman, I'll just suggest if the
make
nominee
progress.
could just stick to the issue of his, rather than just going into politics, just to save us time and also.
Yes, you have finished answering to all the counts on Amis's charge sheet. Now let's go to Mishi. Yes, Amisi. He has answered everything, including the one that was sent in by a member of the public.
It's not
Yes.
a court case.
Yes.
The reason why I've put all those is because of your history. And you know, there is developmental stage. You can't just go to a country, copy something, and replicate here, and you think everything will work. So it puts the office you are holding in jeopardy, the name of the country, the name of the citizens, because of the theatrics manner or melodramatic manner you operate in your office. That's why I brought out those issues.
I'll take the next three. Mishi.